Right. All right, sweet. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Let's proceed. Okay, so we were here. Okay, we were here. Okay, now we've imported our transactions. Okay, the following screen will. Sorry, just excuse me. The following screen will display once you have imported your transactions. Okay. Once you have completed all the fields with their relevant information, click on Save Changes button. Okay. The Save Changes button, let me show you quickly. It's right there at the bottom. Can you see that? Okay. Because it's obviously not going to display here. The updated bank or credit card transactions will now be saved. Okay. So what are they trying to show you here? Once you've imported, you'll have this unallocated income or unallocated expense, okay? Because we now need to allocate it. There hasn't been a rule that we've set up for it, basically. Here you can see, when your banking transactions are imported into Sage Accounting, your bank balance is automatically updated. Each transaction will be assigned to the correct account based on mapping rules that you have set up. If there are no rules set up or Sage Accounting does not recognize the description or in your bank statement, the transaction will be assigned to an unallocated account in your profit and loss. Unallocated account in your profit and loss. This will allow you to review these transactions and correctly assign them in your general ledger. Okay? So that's what that's about. Then saving. At any point during the capture process, you can click on the Save Changes button and exit the system and move to a different area of the system. When you return to the banking section and select your bank account, all the saved transactions will be reloaded so that you can continue editing the transactions. Okay. Then mark as reviewed. Once you have completed all the transactions, click the Mark as Reviewed button. The system will now process the transactions as payments, receipts in the relevant bank or credit card account. The transactions that were previously saved will now be cleared, okay? Ready for next bank statement to be imported, okay? So there will now be nothing, let me show you. There will now be nothing over, let me go back to this. I went to bank, I went to transactions, and I went to banking. Is it loading? I don't want to be here at import. So then let's do this file. Okay, cool. Banking transactions, banking. Okay, so with new transactions, right? Once you have saved, right? Okay, it's saving what you've done in terms of where you've allocated them to the respective transactions. You then have to click on whichever ones you've selected and then mark selected as reviewed. Then it'll go to reviewed transactions. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight that just so you know that saving them doesn't mean that it's now been reviewed. Okay, you have to actually click on mark selected as reviewed. In other words, it's been dealt with. You can now allocate it to the profit and loss, the balance sheet, etc, etc. Okay, all right. So that's what we wanted to do there. Let's move on. Okay, all right. So this is now just an activity-ish. I don't want to do. Okay, this is an activity I want you guys to do. The objective of this activity is to import your bank statement and process the transactions. Import the CB import cycles CSV file and allocate the transactions as follows. Please follow all the prompts over the next screens. Okay, when you are ready, click on the next button. Okay, so I just want to see where you would actually get this. Click import bank statement. Okay, okay. Can you see now it's showing me how to import? Click on import bank statements. Okay, this is what I was showing you earlier. Okay, CSV, yes, we want CSV. Okay, right. But now, okay, so import. Okay, this is actually good because then, right, so here click unallocate and then here click owner's contribution. So this was a capital contribution. Can you see that? Right, next account, drop down. So please go through these. So that was a transfer. Now we're selecting to which account it has been transferred. Petty cash. Okay. Okay. Allocate income. Can you see bank loans? Okay. Right. But anyway, don't want to waste too much time on this. Okay. So you're doing this practice in your Sage university. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna close this right here, and I'm gonna have to go here, and I'm gonna have to launch this again, so that we can continue with our work for today. Okay, but those are the typical activities that I was telling you about that you guys need to do just to polish up and really make sure that you are comfortable with your Sage. Trust me, guys, when we're done, you guys will be very comfortable with this. What we're going to do is we'll get through the content and then literally we'll just have to find some way. So we dealt with importing, then this is mapping rules. So it's a nice and short one. So here we know what now mapping rules is, so that when we import our bank statement, all right, when it sees things like telecom, when it sees things like ESCOM, it already knows. Okay, so here now they're showing you the practical steps. We've clicked on. I want to show you how we got there. All right, so I'm going to go to a transaction. Then we know we have to go here. No. Is this? No, this is for splitting a transaction. I don't think they're not giving me that option for banking rules. Yeah, they're not giving me that option. Let's see if it's somewhere here. Nope, it's not going to be here. Aha, there we go. Under lists, bank statement mapping rules. Okay, there we go. Okay, anyway, just in the interest of time, at least I've shown you where you can go. Okay, then you're going to get this pop-up. Okay, then enter the text to map the description found in the bank statement. Okay, so whenever you see this in the bank statement, all right, you enter the payee here. Okay, who is the payee? Who is getting paid? The name of the business getting paid is LH Rentals. Okay, then enter your display description here in this field. You do not have to process imported transactions using the description as it appears in the bank statement. You can use the display description instead. This description will display on all processing screens, inquires and reports once the current import file is processed. Enter the display description here. Okay, rent paid. Okay, cool. So basically here is now you are allocating it to rent paid. Whenever they see LH rentals, okay, then they know, okay, this is for rent paid to this respective payee. Okay. All right, let's go on. Okay. Okay, here they're basically talking to the same thing. Okay, they're taking you step by step through it. Okay, there you can see exactly what I was talking about, rent paid. Okay. search bank statement for LH rentals, payee, and then account displaying description. It's going to be rent paid. And you see that there. Okay. Okay, and that's mapping rules. Okay. Then quick entry rules. Okay. These ones are a lot shorter, so don't worry, guys. We'll get through this session a lot faster than we did in the first. So here they say Sage Accounting can automatically remember which account, customer, or supplier to use based on the description you enter when processing your bank or credit card transactions. If you enter a description that Sage Accounting recognizes, the system will automatically complete the type of transaction and account, customer, or supplier section for you. Click on Banking Lists Quick Entry Rules. Okay. So let's do that. Let's see what these guys are talking about. Banking lists, quick entry rules. Okay. Okay. Let me click next here. Okay. Okay. I want accounting to remember my payees and descriptions in the lists below and automatically complete the type and account selection for me. Okay. So, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. We have, and it's a customer. Okay, no VAT. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if this actually works in the demo company. I'm gonna create a screenshot. Okay, so because these rules have already been made. Okay. Okay, right. Let's just leave that there. Then what we're gonna do, oh, it's forcing me to be so we'll go banking, transactions, banking. Okay. I want to test if this quick rules is really working. So in the meantime, whilst that's loading, let's do this. Now, which screenshot was this now? There's too many screenshots on my. There's this one right here. Okay, cool. So now let's go back. No, this is not what we're looking for. Okay, this is what we're looking for. So now, when you go into the description, let's see if this actually picks up. Okay, or let's go to the payee, and then we go morning view. Okay. If you enter this payee, okay, I see there's a star there. So let's star and see. Okay, can you see that? I put in there morning view star, and can you see I've clicked there, and can you see morning view bicycles come up, customer has come up. All right, morning view. All right, let's see what that is. Morning view bicycles has already been selected. All right, we've already selected no VAT. Okay, I just want to see. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's make this bigger, and then also click on that. So can you see no VAT? Can you see that information has already popped up? So that's what quick rules is. Whenever you type up certain information, it will automatically pull. So let's see, set the description to. Okay, so let's see if we type the description, whether the other information will pop up. I don't think it will, now that I think of it. Okay, but let's try. Let's see, just so that we know exactly. So description. Okay, let's do here. Advertising account. Let's see. Okay, so here and then we click on another space. Yep. Can you see it's not picking up? Okay, so it would have to be you enter in the payee, okay, and then yeah, the rest of the information would then pick up. Okay, right. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so that was quick entry rules, reconciliation. Okay. Bank reconciliation. Those of you who have had accounting, you would know what bank reconciliation is all about, but for the benefit of everyone else, you processing payments and receipts via one or more bank accounts, you can reconcile these bank accounts against the bank statement if you wish to. The reconciliation process does not affect any values on your system, and its use is optional. It lets you match each payment and receipt you have entered in the system against the physical bank statement. This helps you to ensure that the amounts are correct. For example, you may write a check for 100, but enter into the system 1,000. Alternatively, the bank can make an error. Okay, so we can make an error, the bank can make an error. The reconciliation process also helps you know the value of the check that the checks that are not yet in the bank statement so that you can plan your cash flow. For example, you may have cash in the bank, but unless you know the value of checks that suppliers have not yet deposited, okay, you do not know whether there are sufficient funds in the bank. If your reconciliation is up to date, you can view these undeposited checks. Okay, so bank reconciliation, it's when your bank account that we have in the books does not match the bank account that FNB has. The balance on the bank account with FNB that we have for the business, that balance is not the same as the balance that we have in our books. Okay, because in our books, maybe we may have made payments that have not yet reflected in the Sage bank account. Okay. And also at the same time, some of our customers may have made direct deposits to our bank, all right, without us being aware. Okay. So we might have more money than we had anticipated. It could work either way. Okay. So that's what the bank reconciliation is saying, that it can assist you in that process. Right. So this would then be how you would do it. You go banking, transactions, bank reconciliation, reconcile banks, and then credit cards. Okay, so just to show you, you go bank, transactions, reconcile banks, and credit cards. You click on that. Okay, yes. When it asks you, do you want to leave the screen? Remember, they're saying that because um, you haven't yet saved. Right. So here you would have your transactions as you would have over here. It's just that there's no transactions on that specific account. As you can also see, yeah, there is also, at least there's a balance, okay, but there's no transactions that are there. Okay, right. So I just want to show you how you get to here, and then here, can you see you're ticking off these receipts, all right? Confirm that the payments and receipts on the bank or credit card statements display in Sage Accounting by selecting the checkbox in the reconciliation column. Okay, so you will be physically looking at your bank statement, sorry, and then confirming, yes, this reflects in Sage. Yes, this reflects in Sage. Yes, this reflects in Sage, which is also in the bank. Okay, right, and I think that's it. Okay, then bank feeds. Okay, bank feeds. Okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you about this. I'd suggest you go through this in your own time. But bank feeds here, instead of uploading, all right, instead of uploading your importing, should I say, let me use the correct terminology, instead of importing your bank statements every time, right, you want to record. your transactions for the month. What you can do is you can set up your Sage such that it automatically pulls transactions from your bank account so that it reflects every transaction that happens on your bank account reflects in your Sage. So you don't need to import anything. You don't need to manually insert transactions. Okay. So that's what bank feeds is all about. All right. And here they're now talking about how does it work? How do you actually set up bank feeds? Okay. Can I deactivate it? Yes, you can. Okay. Multi-factor authentication. Okay. How safe are they? Are my details? Okay. Very safe. Can I manually refresh? Yes, you can. Manually refresh is like, since it's supposed to automatically upload your banking transactions and so forth, can I manually also just refresh to, let's say, I know that some transactions have happened, but they haven't yet reflected on Sage. I can manually refresh so that the Sage can can pull those transactions. And then here's telling you before setting that up what you ought to do. Okay, so that's what bank feeds is all about. Okay, then to do that, you have to click on banking, transactions, manage fees. So again, can you see banking, transactions? No, where is this now? Special, let's see. Okay, so I know why it's probably doing this. It's probably doing this because I'm in the demo account, but this should be 100% correct in going banking, transactions, manage feeds. Okay, manage bank feeds. Okay, and then can you see here, first step, I need to choose which bank am I with? Am I with ABSA? Am I with Nedbank? Am I with Capitec? Okay, select the bank, all right, or you can search for it. Okay, then you click on next. Okay, all right. So let's click on next. Next step, log in. You'd have to log into your online banking profile. Okay. I have read and agree. You need to tick that terms and conditions off. Okay. That's your step number 2. Oh, sorry, I need to click next here. Then it's linking. It then links your bank accounts. Okay. Now you need to choose which bank account. Remember, we have the petty cash, we have the credit card, we have the other debit card that we have. So you need to pick which bank account in Sage matches this bank that I'm trying to link to my online internet banking. Okay, what currency should that be in? Okay, all right, and then you go next. Okay, wait, let me go back one. Can you see here? Refresh bank feeds. Refresh on login, okay, your bank feeds will automatically refresh when you or any invited users logs in to your company, all right? So it'll refresh as soon as you log in, and then manual refresh. You will need to manually refresh your bank feeds when you log in, okay? Obviously, guys, just go for automatic. Why would you want to do that manually? Tech is supposed to help us, aid us, okay? So there's no advantage of manually doing it when you log in. Okay, cool. Then here, first import date. Okay, so here you select your first import date, adding bank feeds for new bank accounts. You can import up to 90 days transactions in accounting depending on your bank. Okay, now you might have been transacting with your bank for a very long time. So that's why they're saying now pick how far back you want to go. That's why they say select your first import date. Do you want to start at the beginning of 2021 when you've been transacting since 2015? Or do you want to go all the way back to 2015? You can select the date for 2015 and then obviously you click next. After your first import, new transactions will only be imported when you log in each day and only once per day. Okay. Then opening balance, you can put an opening balance, closing balance for your bank or credit card. Okay. And then accounting will create the following opening balance transactions for your credit card. Okay. Right, and then you are done here. Congratulations, you have set up your bank feeds. You have finished setting up bank feeds for your accounts. And you're home and dry. Home and dry. Okay, now you can go review your transactions if you want to go do that immediately. You can go add another bank feed for another account that you have, or you can just go to the dashboard. All right, choice is yours, and you're done. Okay, so guys, that is the banking module. Okay, so that's actually lesson number 7. I don't know if you guys have any questions, thoughts. It's nice for once I have all of my Sage students in one session. Would be a good time for us to just engage, interact, because then obviously we'd be squashing whatever questions or concerns we have at the same time whilst everybody is with us online. But yeah, are there any questions or thoughts? Any questions or thoughts? Anything you'd like to ask, sir?